Hi, how are you? Today we're going to be talking about how I keep track of everything.
She'll grow up and put on her suits and try to change the world.
In this video, we're going to be talking about how I utilize an Apple Watch to track workouts as a circus student and circus professional. We're going to be talking about how I do my vitals and body tracking on paper. And we're going to be talking about how I count calories and macros. So tracking has come a long way for me. I started in high school tracking things like calories, fatigue level, and things like that because I went to a performing arts academy and it was part of a class that we had one year. So I started it for that class and then I continued it. Now, this first book right here, this book, you can see it says 2018 to 2021. You can see my tiny baby one right there. I started this book in 2018 and I used to do more of a journaling type of tracking. So I would journal if I was tired or not and how my classes were going and all of that stuff. So we have journaling in here. And sometimes I would record workouts and overall stuff like that from my high school. Now, when I came to Circadium, we started tracking again. Now, I have been calorie tracking throughout high school up until now, but I wasn't doing as much vitals tracking until I came to Circadium, and that kind of revamped me because in our conditioning classes, it's part of our grade that we keep a journal to track everything. So originally, we were tracking sleep, water intake, soreness level, fatigue, our resting heart rate, and then I was tracking my weight. Now, my weight tracking was completely my own thing. That is not something we are asked to do in school. Now, I filled up pretty much this whole book with that. And then in term 2, I streamlined everything and I added some things. So for term 2, you can see I still track my sleep, but now I also track quality of sleep. I still take my heart rate throughout the day. My water intake went to one amount for the overall intake of the day. I track fatigue, soreness, my notes section, and then I also now track when I do my flexibility work, when I do core work, when I do rehab, muscle rehab, like foam rolling or biofreeze or icing and things like that. And yeah, then I do my notes. I also track, let me find it. I also track vitamin intake. And you can see I get very happy with my washi tape and my colored pencils and all of that. I do every week. At school, we don't have to do weekends. We're only graded on weekdays, but I do the entire week, as well as I do a personal recap of the week for myself. So I have notes here. I have notes about like injuries or what was happening in class or just general notes about how I'm feeling that day. I also track my dreams. That is probably a whole separate video because I have really wacky dreams that I record and keep track of. But for today, yes, I do track when I have dreams. I also track like when I take electrolytes and basically just anything that I can track, I do track. So this book is now completely full. I have filled this book up, or when I am done with spring break, because I am on spring break right now, it will be completely filled up. And so we are going to have to start a new journal right here. And I have some new formatting that I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to be adding a mood tracker. So that's what we're going to be doing in this video. I'm going to show you guys my new setup for my journal for body tracking. But first, let's talk about calories, macros, and how I use my Apple Watch. So I bought my Apple Watch back in September of 2019. I think it was September of 2019. And oh my gosh, it is a dream. It has made me like cardio. Let me just put that out there. I didn't like cardio. Now I love cardio because it is so much instant gratification to get to see everything tracked in real time and to play with the fun achievements and goals and all of that. Overall, I don't think it's too much hype. I think that it is a great tool to get in shape and have incentive. Now, obviously they don't have juggling and all of aerials and crazy things to track in the fitness app for their Apple Watches. Now, I usually go for gymnastics. If I'm training aerials or something like that, my go-to is to click gymnastics because I feel like that would be the most similar But yeah, so there's definitely a little bit of wiggle room in the accuracy of that. But for things like running and conditioning and weightlifting and core training and all of that, I use this baby all the time. Now, when it tracks my calories burned, that goes into the app that I use to track my food, which is MyFitnessPal. I use the free version because that's all I need right now. So I'm in a caloric deficit right now, but I'm very used to tracking calories on MyFitnessPal, but I've recently started tracking macros. Now, I am very, very new to macro tracking, but I'm going to try it out this term. I am really excited to start doing this just so that I can have even more information on my body because, as you guys might be able to tell, I very much enjoy seeing everything written out. And this is just one extra thing that I can learn about myself to help my training be more efficient. So when I take my heart rate, I use my Apple Watch heart rate a lot because it's very handy, but I try to, as much as I remember, take my heart rate manually to get the most accurate results for my journal. Sleep is really easy. My health app on my phone tracks my sleep because I use bedtime on my iPhone, and that makes it super simple to record my sleep hours. And then, of course, when I get up, I record my quality of sleep based on how I slept that night. As for my food, I'm going to make a separate video all about what I eat because I am zero waste or low waste and 100% vegan. So I will be making a separate video about how I fuel my body to do these extreme physical feats. But for today, we're just gonna leave my dietary restrictions out of this and focus on the fact that I just track my macros and calories through MyFitnessPal, which actually makes it super simple because I can scan labels or I can just get rough estimates on things like fruit and vegetables. I have not been drinking enough water this past term. I used to be really good about drinking water, and then when I moved to Philadelphia, I think it got a lot worse, mostly just because I'm so busy now. But I am drinking a gallon a day now. I am just saying enough is enough. I have a gallon jug. Hold on, let me get it for you guys. So this is my glass gallon. It used to have apple cider in it, I think, but I fill this up with water and then I drink it throughout the day. I don't drink it from this. I put it in my water bottle, but this just helps me get an estimate. So yeah, I drink a gallon of water every day now. As of like this week, it's not something that I've been consistently doing, but that is what I'm going into term 3 with. I am going into term 3 with making sure that I drink enough water. I'm pretty good about getting sleep. In the first term, I was like not sleeping enough, but I've been getting really good sleep lately. I love sleep. One thing you guys want to know about me, I love to sleep. Anyway, so yeah, going into term 3, I'm going to be drinking enough water and I'm going to start mood tracking and we're just going to see how it goes. So anyway, let's get into this new schedule body journal thing. I kind of have an inclination when it comes to tracking to make it somewhat of a bullet journal type aesthetic. So that's why I wanted to make this a video of showing you guys my new setup, because I definitely don't skimp on the fun aesthetic touches. Okay, so here we have the new journal. Now, this was given to me by a beloved coach back in Tennessee when I moved, and a bunch of my classmates and friends wrote in the front little inspirational notes to me for when I moved. So I kept those all in the front and I skipped a few pages. And I started right here with the new format. So this is going to start Monday, March 15th, because that's when I start term 3. I have set it up to record sleep, quality of sleep, water, fatigue, soreness, my resting heart rate, my weight, my calorie intake, my macros broken down, a section for notes, a mood tracker that goes roughly throughout the whole day, and a place to record my supplements. Some of these lines have more space because I record them throughout the day as opposed to the one notation like my sleep that I got or my weight. And then for the mood, I have these fun little faces to go with the colors, and I'll be filling up this bar from roughly 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. because that's basically my day. My day is like 5:30 to 8, but you get the idea. So I really like it. I'm excited to track this term. Thank you guys so much for watching. This video is a little long and I think that it has a lot of information compacted into it, so I hope it wasn't confusing, but I really have found passion for recording all of this information. You know, it does help me train, it does help me understand what's happening, and that way I always have that log to go back to if I have an injury or if I have a health concern. At least I know what I've been in control of. And I think at the end of the day, the more we know about our bodies, the more that we can ask our bodies to do for us. So yeah, and the more we can do for our bodies. The more we know about them, the more we can do for them, and they can do for us. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.
This little daisy girl wasn't made to break.
Words. Generally, when I do that.